What's up guys, welcome to Supercars of London in Portugal, surrounded by a bunch of McLarens. I'm at the Estoril race circuit where Ayrton Senna came here for the first time in Formula 1 in 1985 and won. Behind me, quite far down there, are the brand new McLaren Sennas. You would have seen from social media that I've been here, joined by MrJWW, MrJWW, Parker from Virgins, Nicki Shields, among other familiar faces. And today, we're all going to get the opportunity, or multiple opportunities, to drive the £750,000 limited production McLaren Senna. This is by far one of the most outrageous experiences we're ever going to have the opportunity to do. So I feel like I'm going to try and accumulate all of my YouTube friends to help me get an understanding of what the McLaren Senna is like. Shmi has had quite a few McLarens and has very, very good experience behind the wheel of them. MrJWW owned a McLaren 675 LT, one of McLaren's last track-focused road-going cars. Not as hardcore as the McLaren Senna, but up there, and definitely an experience that will help us all try and get an understanding of the McLaren Senna. Parker from Virgins owns and runs an 800 brake horsepower supercharged Lamborghini Huracan, so he is used to the 800 PS that we're going to experience in the McLaren Senna, but I don't think any of us are ready for the 800 kilograms of downforce, 800 newton meters of torque, and this racetrack. Right, I'm not sure whether you can hear me, and I'm definitely not in focus, but we've done the 720S drive. It was a lot of fun. The circuit is quite challenging, but at the same time rewarding when you get it right. What it's going to be like in the Senna, I have absolutely no idea, because it's really the cornering, the downforce, 40% more downforce than the McLaren P1, and it's 150 kilograms lighter than the P1. And the P1 scared the shit out of me. Right, okay, here we go. In the driver's seat of the £750,000 McLaren Senna. The car that I was driving was the pure white example with the blue accents. A truly beautiful design, and one you may see very soon on a certain person's C63. But I think the only thing that we really can take away from this moment of me just really proving that I drove the McLaren Senna more than anything, because this footage is kind of dead. The audio is very, very difficult, and we had our intercom systems linked up to the helmet, so we were having a fine conversation, and he was teaching me the track, my professional driver to the right of me. But I think the only thing really that we can take away from this is just the fear that is in my eyes of keeping this car on the tarmac, because I reckon if I got one wheel onto the grass, then I was liable for some pretty hefty damages that were gonna come my way. But honestly, to drive everything that I threw at that car, it threw back right in my face. It was an amazing, amazing experience, and what you're about to see is actually the reactions of all of the other YouTubers, including myself, as to our first impressions of jumping out of the car and having that massive adrenaline high. So whilst the audio kind of sucked on this clip, check out what happened once we all drove the car. I'm such a pro. How was that? So that is now the second time that I've been out in this car, and you can just continually ask more from the car and it gives it to you. like I was braking later, I was turning in, I was going in flatter through corners, and turn 5, which is just a little kink, I was hitting that 5th gear flat now, and it's just so rewarding. And I was like, it's not just a rich man's toy, you know, like there are track cars out there that are just, this is like a proper road hypercar that you can then just do all of the really cool shit on the track as well at the same time. Oh man. Honestly,
the look on your face pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, honestly, McLarens to me have never appealed to me as much to be like, I really want to buy one, apart from this.
That sums it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you just come back?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that was my reaction as well.
It's that face. It's so fast.
Unbelievable.
But isn't the craziest thing how you can be going around a corner and you can just adjust something and dramatically change it, but it will never break traction.
Yeah.
It just sticks.
It is.
You put more power down, more power down, more power down. You can feel where the limit's going to come.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Is this the car?
I was driving in a blue one.
Oh, okay. So I was driving the white car. And okay, so me and you were in the first wave.
You were the slow one. No, I'm joking.
Me and you were in the first wave. We've got Parker and James going out in the next wave.
Yeah.
And I find it quite difficult to summarise. Like it's almost it's mind bending.
Yeah. So you know, normal sports cars, supercars, normal hypercars, Senna.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad way of putting it. I was. Do you know what? I was coming into the pits, cruising, and I was like, you can actually do this around central London in this car.
I know, and when you see another one on the track, you're looking at it, you're like, that could just be on Stone Street.
And I know we are just referencing London, but it's surely the go-to reference.
Casino Square.
Yeah.
Rodeo Drive.
Oh my God.
You name it.
Casino Square, I mean, yeah. Well.
Look at this thing. Like, yeah, let's stick the biggest ironing board we can in the world on the back of the car.
But it only weighs 4 kilograms.
4.87 kilos.
Oh, you're rounding it up, I'm rounding it down. I'm helping McLaren out, you're not.
Titanium exhaust tips.
Yes.
An in-canal exhaust system with titanium tips.
Yep.
The bottom one is the muffler, which in America it doesn't have. It's noisier in America.
Really?
Yeah. Exhaust expert 101 right
there. That is. Well, I'm learning from another exhaust expert. I'm now going to go and try and find Parker and James.
Oh my God. That is by far the best car I've ever driven in my entire life. I have never gone 275 kilometers an hour and hit the brakes all the way and then come up short of the turn and gone, oh, I hit the brakes too hard.
Yeah.
It's actually telepathic.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine what it'd be like to be Bruno or other professional driver and actually get the most out of this, because I feel like
everything that I've
laughable.
Heard, everything that I've heard is if that car was on slicks, it would be just out of
Yeah, there was one corner where I got a little bit sideways, and he's like, yeah, the tires are hot. If this thing was on slicks, it'd be nuts. But oh my God, that's awesome.
Let's see what James has to say. He does a lot of track days. He does a lot of fast driving. He's owned a McLaren 675 LT. I think he's in a fairly good position to give us some words.
That is above average. They've done an amazing job of engineering it so it's not an intimidating car, but you can go like GT3 speed fast. Like, ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Yeah. And then you can
the braking by far is outlandish.
The braking and the cornering.
I was just saying it's much more friendly than I thought it would be, right?
It is actually really friendly. Yeah. It's not an edgy car.
No.
I think that's where the road element comes in. They've had to make it friendly to drive it on the road, but when you actually put it on track and you turn everything off and you're with the car by itself, that's when
the brakes, dude,
it becomes a magician.
That's where it's at. Like the brakes really starts to make it feel very track biased. You know, 'cause you can anchor on so hard and so late.
And when you get comfortable with it, you can also brake into the corners. Corner. It's what somebody cannot do with any other road car.
My race suit's falling off. I mean, come on then.
Don't get naked now. It's not that kind of show. Oh my God.
So you've just come back from driving this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no words. It's mental. It is an absolute beast.
Have you experienced anything like it?
No, and I don't think I ever will. This is what today is a realization that I will never get to experience something like this ever again. Like,
That's why
this is gonna go down in like the book of history, the Shields history book, because it's crazy. And just I keep thinking, I'm like, this is a road legal car. What? I mean, they've done such a phenomenal job. Where to begin? I mean, the braking down that start-finish straight. The braking was just like.
For me, it was every single time I was going around and doing another lap, I was braking later.
Yeah.
But when you brake later, you're going so much more faster.
I know.
And then you stamp on the brakes, and you're like, how is this car still stopping
it
way too early?
It didn't falter.
No.
Like once. Every time it was like bang on.
Yeah.
And also you realise you can brake later and later and later, because every time you still like, oh, I've still got a couple of meters to go.
And you feel like an idiot going into the corner in third gear.
Exactly, quite slowly around.
Yeah. You're like, I really want to be on it, but
just the whole experience as well, and just like the interior, just the whole setup. I mean,
I haven't actually taken a look at the interior, but
it doesn't feel like a road car.
No, it's super cocoon. We've got some buttons up here. The start-stop button, actually, the engine start-stop button is up there. These are the sort of cage seats that just, you can change the padding, basically. When you spec your car, these are the seats, but you can change the thickness of the padding, and it is a special place to be.
It is. The only thing is, I think my neck. I need to do those, like, you know, like Formula One drivers do their.
You need Formula One training.
I do.
To drive a road car.
I need
That's
to
what
build
McLaren
the
have
muscle
done.
in my neck.
That's how good the car is. That's how scary the car is. Nicki Shields needs to do neck weights.
I would be petrified of this.
Yeah.
I am slightly petrified.
Yeah, so am I.
The capability is just out of this world.
Yeah. Sadly, I'm out of my racing attire. I'm no longer a racing driver. James is still in his. Parker is still in his. That is wave 2, and the Senna drives are now coming to an end. And I'm walking out the front of Estoril race circuit because not only has this been a phenomenal background and setting for the McLaren Senna drive, it's been amazing to hang out with Bruno Senna. It's been amazing to hang out with very senior McLaren representatives and learn a lot about the McLaren Senna. And here we have the road going cars, the 570S Spider, another 570S Spider, and the McLaren P1 that I experienced in Scotland. And whilst that was the rawest experience that I'd ever experienced from the McLaren brand, the McLaren Senna has now taken that title, and it is honestly something that shouldn't be from this planet. I feel like someone is revving a McLaren Senna inside now, and I can hear it. This is a fantastic direction the McLaren are going. There is a Senna the other side of this building, and I can hear it revving. Parker has got a revelation, so head over to his channel. Tim, as you would have already seen, is getting one, and I'm truly, truly jealous of him. What an amazing car, on track like nothing else I've ever driven, and just the fact that you can then imagine it in real world scenarios on the road, mind blown. I just get interrupted by Sennas flying past on the back straight, but that is the end of the video. I'm gonna head inside, grab my suitcase. I need to head to the airport and get back to the UK. And yes, whilst the last 12 months have been very on and off in terms of video uploads, highs and lows, I can guarantee that the rest of 2018 is gonna be very high and very much on. So I will see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.